Have you ever felt like you're pouring your heart and soul into a relationship, only to be met with silence? Like your feelings are invisible, your presence barely noticed? How many times have you been treated as a mere option, a convenient backup, rather than the shining priority you know you deserve to be? What if, in this very video, you could unlock the secret to reversing that? What if you could transform yourself into a magnetic force, someone others yearn to be around, someone whose presence is not just desired, but cherished? This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding your inherent worth and radiating that from within. Your life, your joy, your inner peace, they are far too precious to squander on people who fail to see your brilliance. Today, we're embarking on a journey, guided by ancient Buddhist wisdom, to explore 10 transformative principles. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're potent, practical tools to help you become that irresistible force, that person who commands respect and adoration without even trying. But before we dive in, take a moment. It tells YouTube that these messages resonate. Subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell, because we are just getting started. Don't miss any of these insights. Now, grab a mindful moment and let's begin our transformation. Principle 1. The illusion of constant availability. In the heart of Buddhist philosophy lies a profound understanding of value and impermanence, anicca. We've been conditioned to believe that constant availability equals devotion. We're glued to our phones, jumping at every text, always ready to drop everything. But in truth, this creates an illusion of infinite supply. Something so easily accessible often loses its perceived value, like the air we breathe, essential, but rarely appreciated. This is where the fear of loss, the awareness of impermanence, becomes a powerful catalyst. It's not about manipulation, it's about letting others glimpse your true worth. When someone understands the potential of your absence, the void they'd feel if you weren't around, they begin to truly recognize your brilliance. You're not just an option, you are a beacon, a presence they truly need. This ties beautifully into the Buddhist idea of dukkha, the understanding that clinging to anything ultimately leads to suffering. By not being so readily available, you allow both yourself and the other person the space to understand true value, free from need. I remember a time in my early 20s. I was completely head over heels for a particular person, and I tailored my entire schedule to their whims. I'd wait hours for a text back, cancel plans to see them. I was the epitome of always available. Guess what? They took me completely for granted. It wasn't until I moved to a different city, focusing entirely on myself, my interests, that suddenly I was the one being pursued. Why? Because absence makes the heart grow fonder, but even more crucially, it made me realize my inherent worth outside of their approval. I had become an enigma, someone whose value was suddenly apparent. In Buddhism, we learn that true value flows from within. You don't owe it to anyone to make your world revolve around them. You are an independent entity, a complete adventure in yourself. This self-confidence is magnetic. It's not about being arrogant, it's about knowing your own value. People want to be part of your world, not because you need them, but because it's a privilege. You bring something unique and vital to the table that cannot be replicated. Let them feel the slight sting of potential loss. Make them pursue your attention, not out of desperation, but because they genuinely value your presence. Be like a wise, self-assured sage full of inner strength and unyielding calm. In your relationships, you are not simply a player, you are the master of your own narrative. Your presence is far more valuable than they realize, and they simply cannot afford to lose you. This isn't about being hard to get, but about being impossible to forget. Principle 2. The preciousness of time. In Zen Buddhism, the value of life, and more specifically, Each and every moment is deeply revered. We understand the impermanence of everything. The most precious things in this world, the truly valuable experiences, are not always readily available. They're like rare jewels. You must pursue them mindfully and with intent. Your availability should reflect the same preciousness. Never allow anyone to feel they can simply access your time and energy on a whim. Your time is a sacred resource, a non-renewable energy. You are not simply waiting around for their call. You have a vibrant life, your own passions, a world to explore. In Buddhist practice, every breath, every moment is imbued with significance, a gift to be lived to its fullest potential. Your presence is, in itself, a gift. Your time should be seen as something extraordinary. I used to be that person who would answer every call, respond to every message instantly. It got so bad that I felt like a robot. It drained my energy, made me resent the constant demand, and ironically, it made me less interesting. A Buddhist monk I met during a silent retreat told me about the concept of ma, the space between things, and how that space is essential for our spiritual growth and ultimately to our happiness. I learned to create boundaries. I wouldn't answer every call. I'd let some messages sit for a while, not as a game, but because I was living. What happened? The relationships I nurtured were far more meaningful, and those people understood that my time was a valuable gift. So, how do we achieve this? Find balance. Don't be the person who is always waiting for a message or readily available every second. Let them see that your time and attention are precious resources. When people realize you are not just sitting idly by, waiting to be picked, it sparks curiosity. They become intrigued. The Buddhist teaching of detachment encourages us to not only detach from material possessions, but also from the need to respond immediately. This creates space, that precious ma, for self-reflection, and allows for the development of inner harmony. When you're not available on demand, you create a sense of longing and respect in others. They respect you more because they understand that you have a fulfilling life with or without them. Being always accessible gives the impression they have you whenever they want. This isn't about pretending, it's about showing your worth. Your inner peace, your self-confidence is what makes you attractive and magnetic. When you're not always readily available, they will begin to truly appreciate the quality of time with you. It makes them value you. Remember, your presence is a valuable gift, and your availability should be perceived as something special. By creating that space, you build deeper, mindful, and respectful relationships that enrich everyone involved. Principle 3. The allure of mystery in Buddhist philosophy. Wisdom is often gained through the harmonious balance between openness and mystery. This principle is reflected in countless Buddhist teachings and parables. The journey to understanding the true nature of reality is a gradual process, requiring patience and mindful exploration. Imagine yourself as a serene lake high in the mountains. Its surface may appear simple, calm, and clear, but hidden within its depths lies a vast wealth of life, secrets, and undiscovered wonder. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot easily grasp, to what remains unexplored, like moths drawn to the moonlight. This ties into the Buddhist concept of avidya, ignorance, in that we can use curiosity to bring us closer to enlightenment. By maintaining a sense of mystery, we awaken a sense of exploration, drawing people closer to your unique self. I used to think that sharing everything about myself right away was the key to building deep relationships. I'd lay all my cards on the table within the first few conversations. Turns out, this made me, frankly, pretty boring. It wasn't until I learned about the Buddhist concept of apeksha, equanimity, that I realized the power in not oversharing. I'd often catch myself on the verge of sharing something deeply personal and simply choose not to, leaving a sense of intrigue and wonder. This small adjustment made such a huge difference. People became genuinely curious to know more about me, and that curiosity often led to deeper connections. Just like a Buddhist monk sharing wisdom with their students, reveal pieces of your personality bit by bit. Let your dreams, your experiences, and your thoughts be like pages in a captivating book worthy of exploration. They require both time and patience to fully grasp their depth. Mystery awakens curiosity and fuels genuine engagement. Like meditation that opens paths to greater understanding, when others cannot predict your every move, they're drawn into getting to know you on a deeper level. Remember, you are not here to be an open book, with every detail on display. You are a complex individual, with a unique and fascinating depth that must be uncovered slowly. In maintaining a certain level of mystery, you awaken a desire to be close to you, to understand the depths of your experience, just like Buddhist practitioners seek the hidden truths of life through mindfulness and meditation. Become an enigma, an inspiration to transform. Principle 4. The value of investment in Buddhist philosophy. We learn that awareness of our own innate value and how we allow others to relate to us is absolutely fundamental. Buddhism teaches that every single being possesses an intrinsic value, like a precious gem hidden within us. Discovering this value requires practice, mindful dedication, and patience both with ourselves and with others. Imagine you are a priceless gem, like the metaphorical pearl in the shell spoken of by the Buddha. Your worth isn't found in being readily available or easily accessible, but in inspiring others to invest the time, energy, and devotion needed to uncover your true nature. By doing this, you don't just benefit the other person, you reinforce your value in their lives. People naturally place a greater value on things they've put time, energy, and emotion into. This reflects the core Buddhist practice of mindful action, of commitment, dedication, and the process of nurturing something over time. This is how you create a bond built on respect and value. You become an integral part of their lives, someone they actively want to invest in. I used to be the person who showered everyone with affection and attention, hoping it would be reciprocated. I gave and gave and gave, and often felt empty. I was a giver, but not in a balanced way. Then, I read a Buddhist scripture that spoke of dana, the practice of giving, but in balance with one's own needs. I realized that I hadn't allowed anyone the opportunity to invest in me. I consciously stepped back and let people pursue my friendship, my time. It was a little uncomfortable at first, but the relationships I built through that effort were so much deeper. It's like the difference between buying something pre-made versus creating it yourself. You value the experience of making it because you have poured your own time, energy, and intention into the process. Remember, you're not here to beg for attention nor chase affection. You're here to demonstrate your inherent value, to let others see how truly precious you are as a friend, partner, or colleague. The Buddhist concept of interdependence reminds us that our presence enriches the lives of others, but they must also strive to understand and appreciate that value. Create the space for them to invest their time, their emotion, and their energy in earning your presence. In this way, both parties gain a deeper understanding of one another and develop stronger, more meaningful bonds. Become someone they cannot avoid investing in, because your presence is like a precious gem they simply cannot bear to lose. Like the journey of seeking enlightenment through mindful commitment, you should be that person whose value is only revealed through effort. This creates a deeper bond and ensures that you are not taken for granted. Principle 5. The priority of self-care in Buddhist philosophy. The practice of self-respect and caring for one's own needs is an essential cornerstone of living a balanced life. It's about acknowledging the inherent worth within us, that same spark of divine energy that we all share. True compassion, as Buddhism teaches, begins with ourselves. How can we truly give if our own cup is empty? Imagine you are like a strong, healthy tree. You must nurture your roots before you can provide fruit and shade for others. By understanding your own value, you care for your own needs and will not allow any compromise of your happiness or self-esteem. The Buddha taught that each individual is worthy of respect, which means treating yourself with the same level of care and attention you would give to a loved one. I used to put everyone else's needs before my own. I'd bend over backwards for people, even at my own expense. It wasn't until I began practicing mindful meditation, guided by Buddhist principles, that I started to realize how much I was neglecting myself. I began listening to my needs, the need for rest, for quiet, for time alone in nature. The change was transformational. Not only did I become more centered, but I had so much more energy and joy to share with others. It was a classic example of the saying, "You cannot pour from an empty cup." By filling your own cup with self-love, you will have so much more to share with the people around you. In Buddhist practice, mindful meditation helps us to tune into our needs and understand them. By prioritizing our well-being, we lay the foundation for truly healthy and respectful relationships. Mutual respect and attention is the foundation of any fulfilling connection. By not settling for less, you express a profound care for your inner self, which is the true essence of Buddhist practice. In Buddhist concept of loving kindness and compassion, prioritizing your own needs isn't selfish, but is a demonstration of true self-love. Maintaining your emotional well-being shows others that your feelings and needs matter. The Buddhist concept of the middle way reminds us to balance self-care without falling into extremes of selfishness or self-sacrifice. By not allowing anyone to belittle your feelings, you manifest a strong and healthy self-awareness. You are equal in every relationship, and your needs are as important as anyone else's. Remember, you are not here to be a doormat for others or to seek their validation. You're here to experience authentic, healthy, and mutually respectful relationships rooted in genuine self-respect. By standing up for yourself, you radiate an inner tranquility and strength that is truly magnetic. Principle 6. Independence is attractive. Buddhism teaches the need to maintain a sense of balance and avoid unhealthy attachments. A key aspect of this principle is maintaining your independence, ensuring that you never make another person the sole focus of your life. This is because people are often drawn to what they cannot have, and this principle helps create a sense of allure and intrigue in all of your relationships. Imagine yourself as a star shining brightly in the night sky, radiating your own inner light and energy. You don't orbit around anyone. You have your own path, your own interests, and your own unique identity. This reflects the Buddhist concept of interconnectedness, where each pearl in Indra's net reflects all of the others. We are all unique, independent beings, and each of our unique lights are needed to create true harmony. I used to feel like I was half a person when I was not in a romantic relationship. I was always seeking validation from others, and would often allow myself to become completely absorbed into the lives of those I was dating. I realized how completely lost I had become during a particularly difficult breakup. I didn't have my own interests anymore, my own sense of identity. It was in that moment of deep discomfort that I discovered the Buddhist teaching of non-attachment aparigraha, which really helped me to learn that we must take care of ourselves, nurture our own passions, and that each one of us is a whole person. It's like finding your own song. When you find it, you can bring so much more to the party because you have something amazing of your own to share. Here's how to apply this in your life. Avoid focusing so much on one person that they become the center of your world. You have your own dreams, your passions, and individuality. Buddhism encourages the practice of meditation and mindful self-reflection to help us discover and nurture our inner balance. This creates a sense of mystery and allure, making others wonder what is unique about you. They will be drawn to your independent spirit and sense of adventure. Remember, you are not here to lose your unique identity in another person. You're here to enrich your life while maintaining your own individuality. Buddhism and the middle way encourages us to avoid extremes and maintain balance. By not making others the center of your life, you will become far more attractive and irresistible. By living a full life outside of any particular relationship, you continue to grow, evolve, and bring a sense of excitement and independence to those connections you choose to nurture. This principle reminds you that you are a complete and whole person on your own, and your presence is a valued addition, not a replacement for their happiness. Just as the Buddha taught that we all possess a unique inner light that we must nurture, you must also preserve your own unique light. Your independence and individuality is what makes you attractive and capable of building healthy, balanced, and ultimately fulfilling relationships. Principle 7. Reciprocal effort in Buddhist philosophy. Balance and harmonious coexistence are key to maintaining healthy relationships. This principle focuses on finding the right balance in your communication, ensuring you are not always the one initiating contact. This ties into Buddhist teachings of mindfulness and mutual respect. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse, not a ship that is always seeking light. You radiate your unique presence, offering others the opportunity to come to you. Buddhism's core practice of meditation teaches us to remain calm and allow the world and external factors to naturally come to you. I used to be so worried about people, forgetting about me, that I would constantly reach out, check in, and essentially keep myself on their minds. This was exhausting and totally unnecessary. It felt like I was constantly striving for approval, and it created an unhealthy dynamic. I learned about the Buddhist concept of mudita, sympathetic joy, which helped me to learn to celebrate the happiness of others and not be reliant on their attention. I took a step back, stopped initiating conversations, and watched what happened. Those people who genuinely valued my presence began reaching out, not because I chased them, but because they truly missed my energy. It was a powerful lesson in reciprocal effort. Instead of always being the one to reach out, allow the other person to take the initiative from time to time. This demonstrates that you have your own life and your own interests, while also helping to reveal their true level of engagement. The concept of the middle way encourages us to avoid extremes and maintain balance in all areas of our lives, including our relationships. If you are always initiating communication, you may inadvertently send the message that you are always available and willing to do anything for them. This isn't about playing a game. It's about maintaining a healthy dynamic and allowing the other person to demonstrate their investment in the relationship. Mindful practice teaches us to be aware of our actions and reactions and to maintain an emotional equilibrium. By occasionally stepping back and allowing them to approach you, you give them the space to appreciate your presence and recognize your inherent value. This gently reminds them that you're not just an option, but someone who is deserving of their time and attention. Buddhism emphasizes the idea of interdependency and mutual respect in relationships. Remember, you are not here to chase friendship or affection. You are here to build mutually respectful connections with other people. By achieving a sense of balance in your communication, you create a dynamic where both parties are equally committed to the relationship, ultimately promoting healthier and ultimately more rewarding connections. Like a beacon of mindful calm, you will become a presence that attracts through the beauty of your unique essence and the authenticity of your spirit, drawing others to you naturally and without any effort. Principle 8. Inner fulfillment in Buddhist philosophy. The central theme is that happiness stems from within, rather than relying on external circumstances. This eighth principle centers around the idea that your happiness starts with you. It's about being self-assured, content, and independent, which ultimately makes you more attractive to others. Imagine yourself as a radiant sun, whose happiness is not reliant on the actions of others. You shine brightly in your own light, and that warmth and positivity draw people in, like the sun's warm rays inviting us all to the earth. The concept of shining from within is integral to Buddhist practice, symbolizing individual wisdom and self-illumination. I remember a time when I was desperately seeking approval from others, constantly relying on external validation to feel worthy. It wasn't until I came across Buddhist teachings on detachment that I realized I was looking in the wrong place. True happiness doesn't come from outside, it radiates from within. I started to focus on the things that brought me genuine joy, like spending time in nature, painting, and writing. The shift was profound. I stopped relying on others for my happiness, and suddenly, I became so much more attractive to the people around me, because they sensed that I was a whole and joyful person on my own. Don't rely on others to be the source of your joy. Instead, consciously cultivate happiness through your own actions and thoughts. Buddhism teaches that true happiness stems from inner peace and harmony. Practices such as meditation, mindful contemplation, and cultivating gratitude help you achieve that. Self-confidence and autonomy are truly magnetic qualities. When you are content with your own life, you become an inspiration, a source of light that others naturally seek and need. By creating your own happiness, you show others that you are not seeking external validation, but rather that you are a complete and joyful person on your own. This approach is attractive because it doesn't burden others with the responsibility for your happiness. Buddhism emphasizes understanding our own unique nature and self-acceptance. By practicing gratitude for your own life and celebrating the success of others, we learn to enjoy each and every precious moment. When you are happy within yourself, you can share the genuine happiness with others, leading to deeper and more meaningful connections. Remember, you are not here to find your joy in another person. You are here to share your joy with others, enriching both your lives. By cultivating your own inner happiness, you become an irresistible force, radiating a sense of positivity and confidence that naturally draws people in. Just like the Buddha, who achieved inner enlightenment, you too can achieve a state of personal joy that inspires and illuminates the path of others. Principle 9. The power of letting go. In Buddhist philosophy, a core element is the understanding of impermanence, the ever-changing flow of life, and the ability to release what no longer serves you. This principle speaks to being willing to walk away from relationships that no longer align with your values, or in which you are not valued. This is rooted in the understanding that every one of us deserves to be in relationships where we are truly respected and appreciated for our true selves. The ability to release any situation that is detrimental to your well-being is paramount in maintaining your emotional balance. Buddhism teaches that acceptance of impermanence frees us from the need to cling to people or situations that do not bring positivity into our lives. By being willing to walk away, you demonstrate self-respect and create space for new opportunities and more fulfilling connections. I stayed in one particular friendship for longer than I should have. It was draining, one-sided, and honestly, quite negative. I was scared of being alone, so I held onto it with all my might. It wasn't until I attended a Buddhist meditation retreat that I finally understood that attachment is at the root of all suffering. I realized that by staying, I was not honoring my own worth. The moment I finally let go, even though it was scary, it was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt a surge of freedom. By letting go of what was not serving me, I had created space for new and far more positive friendships to flourish. It really opened my eyes to how much we lose by clinging onto things that are not meant for us. Imagine having the self-esteem to know when a relationship isn't mutually beneficial. The practice of mindful introspection helps us to recognize when relationships become toxic, harmful, or unfavorable. You are not desperate to cling on to something that diminishes your happiness or self-esteem. Understanding that all phenomena are impermanent allows for flexibility and the willingness to change. Here's how to apply this in practice. Set clear boundaries regarding the treatment you expect in your relationships. The Buddhist concept of sila encourages us to adhere to moral principles that help maintain healthy connections. If anyone consistently fails to meet those standards, you have the right and the responsibility to walk away. This isn't about being insensitive, it's about protecting yourself. It is a clear demonstration of your self-respect and a refusal to settle for less than you deserve. Self-compassion is a core element of the Buddhist path. By having the strength to let go, you create an environment where the other person can learn from their actions and realize they must make an effort to prioritize you. Remember, you are not here to desperately cling to relationships that don't contribute to your happiness and sense of well-being. You're here to nurture relationships that are healthy, fulfilling, and mutually respectful. Sometimes that means having the courage to let go when necessary. The Buddhist concept of detachment is a crucial step towards finding true inner peace and freedom. Principle 10. Emotional equanimity in Buddhist philosophy. Understanding and practicing detachment, emotional equanimity, and inner peace are fundamental. This principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining emotional balance when striving to be a priority in someone's life. It's about observing rather than being swept away by your emotions. This way, your feelings are recognized and they don't overwhelm any particular situation. Imagine you are like a compass, navigating through your emotions with grace and confidence. Your emotional balance helps make it easier for others to recognize your true worth and prioritize you in their lives. In Buddhist teachings, achieving calm and internal equilibrium is key. When we maintain inner peace, our relationships are so much more harmonious. I'm an emotional person. I used to let my feelings completely dictate my actions and would often get very attached in relationships. It wasn't until I began a serious Buddhist practice of mindfulness meditation that I began to develop a sense of detachment. I learned to observe my emotions rather than being overwhelmed by them. This helped me to better communicate my needs without being unnecessarily dramatic. I found that when I wasn't so emotionally volatile, people responded far more positively and began to value me so much more because they felt a sense of calmness in my presence. This principle encourages you to find the balance between expressing your emotions and maintaining your composure. The practice of meditation teaches us to observe our emotions without being overwhelmed. Although emotions are important and relevant, being excessively emotional can sometimes mask your true value. By maintaining a sense of balance, you allow others to clearly understand your feelings without creating unnecessary drama. Your emotional balance helps others to see your authenticity and inherent worth, facilitating healthier, more grounded connections. Buddhism teaches us to express ourselves with wisdom and compassion, leading to deeper understanding and harmony. This approach is very attractive because it demonstrates emotional intelligence, self-control, which helps people to recognize your value and prioritize you in their lives. Remember, you're not suppressing your emotions, but expressing them in a way that encourages authentic connection. The Buddhist approach to emotions is about accepting their existence without allowing them to control your thoughts and your actions. By cultivating a sense of balance, you can more effectively communicate your needs, making it far easier for others to understand and prioritize you. Developing emotional equanimity is one of the 4 infinite qualities that leads to harmony and inner peace. Practicing this in your relationships helps create a healthy dynamic that fosters deep and ultimately more fulfilling connections. So, to summarize our journey today, these 10 principles, inspired by ancient Buddhist wisdom, guide us to become a magnetic force in the lives of others, someone they naturally want to prioritize. Recognizing that life is fleeting, like the lotus flower floating on the surface of a pond, we learn to live in harmony with ourselves and others by creating our own happiness and maintaining emotional balance. These are all keys to unlocking true and genuine fulfillment. Being willing to release those relationships that don't serve our highest good reminds us of the importance of self-respect and autonomy. Remember, in life, as in Buddhism, it's not about seeking external approval, but about creating relationships built on mutual respect and value. By incorporating these principles, you become a person of profound worth, someone that others will naturally desire in their lives. If someone is treating you like a mere option, you have the power to let go with love. Your value is unquestionable, and your place in the world is unique. You deserve to be surrounded by those who truly prioritize and respect you for who you are. Like a tranquil monk radiating inner light, you attract admiration and respect from others through the authenticity of your unique soul. We've explored such profound wisdom today, and now it is time to take responsibility and act. Which of these principles can you consciously apply today to move closer to the very best version of yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you have made it to the end of our journey today, write, "I consciously walk through my life," in the comments. Share this video with your friends or family so that they too may begin the journey of mindful transformation. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily teachings. Until next time, my dear friends, may you radiate your unique inner light, and may your relationships be rooted in mutual respect, love, and genuine compassion.